All right. Good morning. Today we are going to be celebrating our Hanamatsuri service, and this will be a little bit longer than our normal service, and we'll have extra portions in it that we normally don't do during a regular service. Today we will be bathing the baby Buddha, or a statue of the baby Buddha, with a sweet tea, and we do this as tradition to simulate the birth, the story of the birth of the Buddha that comes to us. He was born in a garden and at Kapilavatthu. Somebody correct me. John? All of a sudden, huh?
I can't correct you. I'm not that good on those names.
Okay. I think, pardon my old timer's brain, but I think it's Kapilavatthu. Anyway, he was born in a garden, and this is myth that comes to us, and we take it as fact, realizing that the recorded history of the Buddha was some many years after the Buddha's lifetime. Anyway, the story that comes to us was that upon his birth from his mother's side, he took 7 steps, and at each footstep a lotus petal appeared, or lotus flower blossom appeared, and he raised one hand to the sky and one hand to the ground and said something as "Earth is my witness," or anyway, I will liberate the world from suffering, or something to that effect. Pardon me, I didn't write it down. And then we will bathe the baby Buddha by pouring this sweet tea over the statue to simulate the amrita, the heavenly nectar that fell from the sky upon the Buddha's birth. And we do all of these things. We offer incense, special powdered incense here. We offer incense to freshen up the sky. I'll be tossing paper flower petals to simulate the mandalava flowers that rain down on the Buddha on his birth. So please join with us today, and if for those of you who watch this recording at some point in the future, I hope that you're inspired to strengthen your faith and continue your practice of the Lotus Sutra. So with that, let us begin. So if I'm going to mute each of you, and then when we begin to perform the service over here for bathing the Buddha, I'll unmute you so that your Odaimoku will be heard by everyone. So with that, let us go ahead and begin. Samborai. Ishin Kyorai Ju. Pardon me, I just realized that. Juho Isai Joju Ishin Kyorai Juho Isai Joju Ishin Kyorai Joho Isai Joju So Ujorai. Wholeheartedly we bow to the one in the Saha world who manifests himself in order to save us, Shakyamuni Buddha. Kambutsuye, we now pour Amrita tea on Shakyamuni, the Dharma king. Purity, wisdom, and merit solemnly gather around. Sentient beings with the 5 defilements leave suffering behind. May the authentic Tathagata have a purified body of truth. So if you will chant Odaimoku while I pour the Amrita tea on the Buddha, and let's see, I will unmute everybody so that your voices can be heard throughout the universe. So, please begin chanting Odaimoku. Namu Myoho Renge Kyo, Namu Myoho Renge Kyo,
Namu Myoho
Renge Kyo,
Namu Myoho
William Paruti,
Kyo, Namu Myoho Kyo, Namu Myoho
Renge Kyo,
Namu Myoho
Renge Kyo, Namu Myoho Renge Kyo,
Namu Myoho
Namu Myoho Renge Kyo,
Namu Myoho
Renge Kyo, Namu Myoho Renge Kyo.
Namu
Playground. Namu Myoho Renge Kyo,
Namu Myoho Renge Kyo, Namu Myoho Renge Kyo, Namu Myoho
To Neil Oldham.
Kyo,
Namu Myoho Renge Kyo, Namu Myoho Renge Kyo,
Namu Myoho
Renge Kyo, Namu Myo. For Devi, I don't know. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. For John Hughes, Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. For Dilba, Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. For Mary Hughes, Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Namu Myo Renge Kyo. 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 Namu Myo for Gerard, Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo for Anne-Marie, Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo for Juan in Portugal. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Spain. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Beatrice, Namu Myo in Czech Republic. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. For Michelle in Czech Republic. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. For Alice Nemkova in Czech Republic. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge. For Isabel, Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo France. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. All the members of the sangha. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo For all the people watching this video, Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. For myself, Namu Myo Renge Kyo. 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 Namu Myo Renge kyo namu yo 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 renge kyo. So I'm going to mute everybody again, and we will continue with our service. Shokoge. May the incense offering of precepts, meditation, and emancipation become like an illuminating cloud pervading the Dharma realm as an offering to the innumerable Buddhas of the 10 directions, so that we may equally experience the fragrant illumination of tranquil extinction. Kirisange. Yoku se ho ke kyo ko ke ku yo fu dai zai dai go dai shoju koke kuyofu Ganishi kudo hoke kuyofu Sandan. When we observe the body of the Prince Siddhartha, we see that it is golden and indomitable, an unsurpassed Vajra hammer, breaking the mountain of illicit passions, possessing all the marks of the great man. His flat soles indicate correct ease. Therefore, when he was in his home country, it was very peaceful. And when he left home, he attained Buddhahood. His hands and feet bear the mark of the wheel with 1,000 spokes. So therefore, he can turn the wheel of the Dharma and become the most venerable one in the triple world. A sheath covers his male organ, making it unobtrusive. So therefore, the Dharma is pure. His fingers are long and slender, and his hands are soft and tender. Therefore, the Dharma endures. His teaching remains in the world for thousands of years, continuing to guide us. His skin and bodily hair is very soft, and the hairs curl clockwise to turn away dust, and his body is golden and well proportioned. Therefore, he can overcome the heterodox ways. The swastika on the chest of his lion body turns, but not with wickedness, and even while standing straight, he can touch his knees with his hands. Therefore, everybody bows to him. The 7 parts of his body are convex, so therefore he has the power of 1,000 to face the enemy. Because of his past deeds as a bodhisattva, none can hold a grudge against him. There are 40 teeth in his mouth. They are all white and even, and he leads people with the Amrita of the Dharma. Therefore, we have 7 treasures. His jowls are like a lion's, his 4 canines are signs of good fortune, and the virtue of the Buddha is revealed in the world. So therefore, there is great abundance in the past, present, and future. Every flavor is tasted exactly as it is, so he can perfectly discern what he is eating. Therefore, he can create the taste of the Dharma and bestow it upon everyone. His large tongue is like a lotus and can extend far enough to cover his face. So therefore, the various sounds he makes are like Amrita. The sound of his words are very beautiful, and they reverberate beyond heaven. Therefore, when he preaches the Dharma, it makes it easy for us to attain peace. His eyes are dark blue, and he observes all with compassion. Therefore, all beings never feel uncomfortable when gazing upon the Buddha. On his head is a topknot. The color of his hair is dark blue, and he wants everyone to attain Buddhahood. Therefore, the Dharma prospers. The light of his face is like a full moon. His color and figure is like the first blossom of flowers. The hair between his eyes is pure white, like a jewel. There is nothing like the Buddha in the heavens above or the earth below. There is nothing like the Buddha in the worlds of the 10 directions. Even if we could see everything in this world, we could not see anybody like the Buddha. Santokuge. This triple world is my property. All living beings therein are my children. There are many sufferings in this world. Only I can save all living beings. Kaichoge. The most profound and wonderful teaching is presented in this sutra. This sutra is difficult to meet even once in thousands of millions of aeons. Now we have been able to see, hear, receive, and keep this sutra. May we understand the most excellent teaching of the Tathagata. The most excellent teaching of the great vehicle is very difficult for us to understand. We shall be able to approach enlightenment when we see, hear, or touch this sutra. The expounder of this sutra is the Sambhogakaya aspect of the Buddha. The expounder in this sutra is the Dharmakaya aspect of the Buddha. The characters of this sutra are the Namanakaya aspect of the Buddha. Just as perfume is caught by something put nearby, so shall we be richly benefited by this sutra, even when we are not aware of being so benefited. Because infinite merits are accumulated in this sutra, we can expiate our past transgressions, do good deeds, and attain Buddhahood by the merits of this sutra. It does not matter whether we are wise or not, or whether we believe the sutra or slander it. This sutra is the most wonderful and most excellent taught by the Buddhas of the past, present, and future. May we meet and receive it, birth after birth, world after world. Please join with me now and recite the Hoben chapter 2, Hoben poem. Please join with me when I begin beating the moksho. Yorenge Kyoben Bondai ni Nichi Seison Jusan Mayan Jo Niki Go Shani Otu Shobu Chie Kinuryo Go Chie Monange Nanyu Isai Shomon Yakushi Butsu Shoku no Chi Ishaka Butsu Soshin Gon Jaku Senman Nokamushu Butsu Jinyo Sho Butsu Muryo Doho Yunyo Sho Jinyo Shoku Man Doju Jinji So Osiki Sho Setsu Vishu Nange Shari Watsu Goju Jobu Chirai Uinen Shuju Iu Goen Gongkyo Mushu Hoben Indo Shujo Dori Shojaku Shoi Shaka Nyorai Hoben Ken Naramitsu Kai Gu Soku Shari Hotu Nyorai Chiken Gorai Nangu Ryomu Ge Riki Mujoi Zendo Ge Ratsan Mai Jinju Usai Doju Isai Miso Kotu Nyorai no Shuju Fumetsu Kyosei Shodanji Yunan Gashu Shin Shari Otu Shuyo Gonshi Muryo And Miso Hobu Shichu Joju Shi Shari Otu Fushu Busetsu Shoi Shaka Shoujo Judai Jikeyu Nange Shi Oyui Butsu Yobutsu Naino Kujin Shoji So Shoi Shohon Se Sonyo Se Shonyo Se Tainyo Se Rikyo Se Sa Se Inyo Se Enyo Se Kanyo Se Onyo Se Honmatsu Kugyoto Shonyo-se, sonyo-se, shonyo-se, tainyo-se, rikinyo-se, sat, inyo-se, enyo-se, kanyo-se, onyo-se, on-matsu-kyu-kyo-to. Please join with me now in chanting chapter 16, Chigage. Please join in when I begin beating the moksho. Nyo renge kyo nyo rai juryo hondai juro. Jiga tobu tsurai shogyo shoko shumuryo jaku senma noku saya sogi dosepa. Mushu okushu doryo yu obutsuto nirai muryo ko iro shujoko. Bendende onni chichifu metero joju shi sepo gajo juhoshi. Jinju riki jo kendo shudo seiko ni fuken shuken ga metero kokuro. Genkai eden moni shokatsu go shinshu joki shenroku chichichiki nunan. Shinyoku Genbutsu Fuji Shaku Shinyoji Gaku Shusoku Shujuro Jusen Jigo Shujo Josai Shifu Metsui Hoben Rikiko Umetsu Yokoku Shujoku Gyo Shingyo Sha Muo yi chu yi satu bu shou ho nyo to fu man chi ta ni ga metsu do ken cho chu cho motsu sai o ku kai ko fu yi ken shin shou katsu go in do shin ren bo nai shitsu yi seppo jinzu riki jo se wa so gi go jo zai ro ju sen ju yo shou shu jo 知道健康人大が上々地がし、本能天理上10万本人浄土各種15章間、中だけが修道所有楽書店逆転九調査集、百万だらけ三月九大衆、浄土不義に修験長寺無垢職の 行政七十万世所在修上百五因縁多葬儀国万三宝妙正修九六十は七七さ現代新大師に説法学事一中説仏中無力内見武者 仏難地下地力行政交渉無料人料無修学修行所得能と社能と死将棋登壇の用人物工事不可 公言に自由自公実在に眼地無の成功も 薬味生物食原者一般部天道実在に間滅理条件学校教師心の一弱語欲座大悪老中華上智中上共同不共同 上昇可動一切集中を毎日させ面いかど集中 特入無浄土即上中心 So if I could get, if John, would you please read the Nichiren Shonen's instructions in English, and then after John, après John, Hostin, français, s'il vous plaît. So, one second, one moment. Nichiren Shonen, the founder of our order, gave us these instructions found in the Kangyo Hachiman Sho. John, English, s'il vous plaît, if you please.
Have faith in the great Mandala Gohonzon, the most venerable one in the entire world. Endeavor to strengthen your faith so that you may be blessed with the protective powers of all the Buddhas. Pursue the twofold path of practice and study. Without practicing and studying, there is no Buddhism. Follow these yourself and influence others to do the same. Study and practice come from faith. Even if it is only a word or a phrase, please spread it to others.
Now, if you could please read the Nichiren Shonen's instructions that I sent via the link for the shared file from the Kangyo Hachiman Sho.
India is called the country of the moon, where the Buddha appears shining in the world as brightly as the moon. Japan is called the origin of the sun. How can it be that no sage as bright as the sun appears in Japan? The moon moves from west to the east. It is the omen of Buddhism in India, spreading to the east. The sun orbits from east to west. This is a lucky omen of Buddhism in Japan, returning to India. Moonlight is not as bright as sunlight. Therefore, the Buddha preached the Lotus Sutra for only 8 years of his lifetime. Sunlight is brighter than moonlight. This is an auspicious omen of Japanese Buddhism shining through the long darkness of the fifth 500-year period. The Buddha did not save the slanderers of the Lotus Sutra because there existed no slanderers during his lifetime. In the latter age of degeneration, there will be many formidable enemies of the one vehicle Lotus teaching everywhere. This is the time when we all This is the time when we can reap the harvest of never despising Bodhisattva's aggressive propagation, sowing the seed of Buddhahood. Each of my disciples should exert himself to spread the teachings of the Buddha, even at the cost of life.
Thank you. Hossein, français, s'il vous plaît. And just as a note for those who are listening, the French translation that Hossein will be reading is merely a Google translation of the English. Hossein, s'il vous plaît.
The text you sent to me before? No.
Yes, just now, during the service, the link.
Croyez dans le mandala suprême de ce monde. Soyez vigilants. Efforcez-vous de fortifier votre foi pour être la protection des Bouddhas, de tous les Bouddhas, du passé, du présent et de l'avenir. Exercez-vous dans les deux voies de la pratique et de l'étude, sans lesquelles il n'y a pas de bouddhisme. Faites cela pour vous et transmettez-le aux autres. La pratique bouddhique et l'étude reposent sur la foi. Faites de votre mieux pour transmettre le sutra du lotus aux autres, ne fût-ce qu'une stance ou une phrase.
Merci, Hossein. Thank you, John. Let us join together now, chant O Daimoku in celebration of the Buddha's birth. Please chant with great joy and confidence. Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, 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 O Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, O Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, O Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, O Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, O Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, O Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, O Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, O Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, O Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, O Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Myo Denge Kyo, Namu O Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, O Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, O Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Denge Kyo, Namu Myo Namu Myo Renge Kyo, Namu Myo Renge Kyo, Renge Kyo, Namu Myo Renge Kyo, Namu Myo Renge Kyo, Namu Myo Renge Kyo, Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Echo prayer. With reverence, we decorate the shrine of the Buddha with flowers to represent the beauty of the Lumbini garden, make offerings of incense, flowers, light, amrita, and pure water, and celebrate the birthless birth of our original Lord, teacher, Shakyamuni Buddha, our great benefactor, who attained Buddhahood in the remotest past. May the Buddha teach all living beings in the present and future unceasingly, just as he did in the past, and have compassion for both those who are with the Dharma and those who are opposed to it. May all living beings in Jambudvipa wash away dust and trouble by his teaching. May all people of the Dharma realm live long upon this field of merit. The Buddha proclaimed at his birth, I alone am the honored one in all the heavens and on the earth below. He also says, all living beings in the triple world are suffering. I alone can save them, from Lotus Sutra. We hereby offer our sincere gratitude to the Buddha for his great compassion. Today, on behalf of all those present online and those who are unable to join us today, we pray for their great fortune and good and happiness and long life. Today also, I'd like to offer a prayer for my recently deceased pet, Otera. May she have a smooth and peaceful transition from this life to next life as a good companion that she was. May her next rebirth be great and joyful, and may she be protected. May the merits we have accumulated by the offering be distributed among all living beings, and may we and all other living beings attain the awakening of the Buddha. May the Dharma realm be equally benefited. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Otsugom. I will cause all living beings to cross the ocean of birth and death if they have not yet done so. I will cause them to emancipate themselves from suffering if they have not yet done so. I will cause them to have peace of mind if they have not yet done so. I will cause them to attain nirvana if they have not yet done so. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Namu Myo Renge Kyo. Uso. Yui Gansho Shoshu Ketsu Josho Chiga Kakutozu Uishoan Go Thank you all very much. And Hossein, I think you read the wrong thing. So for those who are watching us online, bear with us a moment as we resolve something. So Hossein, the part you should have read should begin l'index appuyé le pas de la lune où le Bouddha apparaît.
I read it?
Please, s'il vous plaît, en français.
D'accord. Shokoge, que l'offrande d'encens...
Non, Hossein. Kangyo Hachiban Shogo.
Right. Ango Hashiman Shogo Sho. Retour du Bouddha Dharma à l'ouest. L'Inde est appelée le pays de la lune où le Bouddha apparaît brillant dans le monde aussi brillamment que la lune. Le Japon s'appelle l'origine du soleil. Comment se peut-il qu'aucune sauge aussi brillante que le soleil n'apparaisse au Japon? La lune se déplace d'ouest en est. C'est le présage du bouddhisme en Inde qui se propage à l'est. Le soleil orbite d'est en ouest. C'est un présage chanceux du bouddhisme au Japon qui revient en Inde. La pleine lune n'est pas aussi brillante que le soleil. C'est pourquoi le Bouddha a enseigné le sutra du lotus pendant seulement 8 ans de sa vie. La lumière du soleil est plus brillante que le clair de lune. C'est un présage de bon augure du bouddhisme japonais qui brille à travers les longues ténèbres de la 5e période de 500 ans. Le Bouddha n'a pas sauvé les calomniateurs du sutra du lotus, car il n'a pas eu de calomniateurs de son vivant. Dans le dernier âge de la dégénérescence, il y aura partout de nombreux ennemis redoutables de l'enseignement du lotus, un véhicule. C'est le moment où nous pouvons récolter les fruits de la propagation agressive du bodhisattva qui ne déprécie jamais. Semant la graine de la bodhité, chacun de mes disciples devrait s'efforcer de diffuser les enseignements du Bouddha, même au prix de la vie.
Merci beaucoup. So I'm going to stop the recording now. For all those who are watching this recording, I thank you for watching it, and I hope that it in some way encourages you to continue and strengthen your faith in the Lotus Sutra.